Hi, welcome back. We are on episode 53. And today, what are we going to learn today?
Well, today we're going to describe the entrance of Yeshua and his little group. Actually, the group is
Oh,
growing
that's right. They're going to
into the
Jerusalem,
city of
right?
Jerusalem.
Right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the last episode, we basically said farewell, goodbye to the lake,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we knew it was the end of a cycle.
Right.
So Yeshua and his little group there are about 20 to 30 people now, are
Mhm.
arriving in Jerusalem, and they're trying to enter the city in a discreet way, And they decide to use the gate of the potters, where all the people who are, doing
Doing
potteries
exchanges or,
and merchants.
just doing
Yeah,
merchants. Yeah.
merchants,
Okay.
yeah.
Doing
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
So unfortunately, that gate was used by a lot of lestai and zealots. Lestais are brigands, huh?
What are brigands?
Bad people.
Oh,
Bad
okay.
people, yeah.
Okay.
And that gate had been recently heavily guarded by the Romans. So when the group enters, there are 10 Roman soldiers, weapons in hand, who are waiting for them. And one of the leader of the Romans talked to Yeshua and says, "Are you their leader?" Probably because he's the cleanest one with the
Right.
white
Right. Yeah. And
and the
tall.
tallest, yeah.
Yeah.
And Yeshua responds, "There are no chiefs among us, but we are not a troop, actually, but just brothers and friends. We are coming from far away, and we do not have weapons." And this, asked the Roman, and he's pointing to the knife held by Peter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Peter is a fisherman, so he has knives
of
always,
course.
for the
Yeah.
nets or to open a fish, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter responds, "It is my fisherman's knife." And nothing would stop the soldier at that point. And they called for reinforcement, actually. I mean, 10 was not enough because the
Yeah.
group was 20 to 30 people. And they are actually searching them completely.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And Andrew, who is also a fisherman, also had a knife. And both knives were confiscated. And so the group is then, as they are all culprits, and suspects, they are all led to a courtyard for interrogation. And the centurion asks, to Yeshua, "What is your name?" And Yeshua responds, "They call me Yeshua." And the centurion says, "I have seen you before, I think." And actually, it's kind of funny, but Yeshua recognized the centurion that he had crossed
Oh, he
a
recognized him
while
too.
by. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And that guy was riding a horse, it was a few years ago. And Yeshua responds, "Yes, sometimes I come here. Not always, but sometimes." And the centurion goes, "Yeshua, you say? There is a zealot that has the same name in the area. We will catch him one of these days.
I know
Could
it's
it
the
be
bad
you?
one. Oh.
With your group of beggars disguised as fishermen?"
Oh my God.
Yeah, because they had two
Yeah. Two
knives,
fish for
two,
fishing.
two
Yeah.
fishing knives. So Yeshua smiles politely at this point, to signify that it is simply a joke and that nothing could be true about what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole group is wondering actually what will happen, and Yeshua feels the rage that rises inside Miriam, his wife.
Yeah.
She's absolutely out of herself, the way they are being treated.
I would be the same way. You'd have to calm me down.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeshua realized that all this was the play of small people, eager to be powerful.
Yeah. Right.
So the group must actually stay and spend the night in the courtyard.
Oh.
They are under guard, while the Romans are taking the two knives and the two donkeys that were with them.
Oh my gosh. Like forever?
Well, let's see. In the morning, the centurion comes back. It's the same guy. And this time he's letting the group go and enter the city. And he's very upset about that. And he's even returning the two donkeys.
Oh, okay.
Not the knives, but the donkeys.
At least they got their donkeys back.
Yeah. So Barthélemy, who is among the group, asked Yeshua, "Why did you do nothing, Rabbi? You could have given them a jar of wine, to show them what
quiet
lives
them down.
inside you."
Yeah.
or do something, And Yeshua responds, Barthélemy, their souls are not ready because you do not buy a soul with glitters. And finally, because you do not waste the energy of the eternal when it is given to us. Other women, other men are waiting for me, not the Romans. So the group was there, obviously, to open some hearts and certainly not to argue. And the first objective for Yeshua was to meet his uncle Yusuf and perhaps Nicodemus in order to understand how to approach this city. I mean, he's familiar with around the lake and all the towns of Capharnaum and Migdal and all this stuff, but Jerusalem still represents a challenge, for Yeshua. And he knows that the situation in Jerusalem is very tense, and he wants to avoid any misunderstanding with the population. Because we know that there is Barabbas and the Zealots holding the same name, pretending to be
Right.
named Yeshua also.
Right.
And Bar Abbas, the son of the father. So this is all very misleading. Of course, it's design.
It's
Yeah.
It
So,
continues to be, but go
right.
ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What are you thinking about? So Yeshua is there to teach the meaning of life, its beauty and the objective of living, and not to create riots and problems. So for the next 3 days, they all live in the house and garden of the Uncle Yusuf, who has a very big property, and they try to be very discreet. And it's important for Yeshua that every member of his group could express himself or herself as things were going to become a lot more serious. So he wanted to make sure that everybody was comfortable with the situation.
Right.
And when Yeshua would start walking the streets and talking, it was difficult to know where exactly all this would end. And we
So
know,
he had no idea.
well, he knew that it would go far.
Okay. He just didn't know
But he didn't know
exactly how they were going to take
and
it.
he wanted to also protect the member of his group,
Right.
make sure that they were in sync with what may happen. So every member of the group would have to take a more active role, and he was expecting them to do that, and things would move definitely to another dimension. And again, to talk about the Christic energy, Yeshua was feeling at every moment, the unstoppable power of that Christic energy,
Right.
which is in his
trying to harness it
in his chest,
Yeah.
And that energy was actually pushing him, regardless of the dangers that may be created. Yeah. As I don't think he had much of a choice.
Right.
And contrary to what has been said by multiple scholars, pundits, whatever, Yeshua was not conscious of an end with a horrifying conclusion.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't.
No,
Okay.
he didn't know it.
That's probably good.
He knew that there would be challenges and difficult things, but never was he presented with the outcome, the final outcome. Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
Good thing.
And after 3 days, the group comes out of Yusuf's homes and divides itself between the bedside, which is outside of the city, and a small home that happens to belong to Nicodemus. So Nicodemus is leaving a little space at their disposal, where they can meet. And Yeshua and Miriam are constantly moving from one place to another in order to avoid large gatherings of people.
Oh, trying to avoid all that. They don't want to bring too much
Yes,
attention.
exactly. And they don't want to have, a bunch of Romans stopping them or creating some issues. Yeah.
Right.
And Miriam, the mother of Yeshua, on the other hand, is sharing her time between the home of Yusuf and the bedside outside of the city limits. So she's tired and she's very worried, but she's trying to hide it.
I don't think she can hide it from Yeshua.
Yeah. No, she can't.
There's not much you can hide.
Yeah. I mean, she's just a wonderful woman, so brave and so courageous, And she knows that something bad may happen.
Right.
She has the feeling. She's a seer too.
Yeah.
And no matter what he tries, Yeshua does not go incognito, I mean, his long hair, his white robe, his high stature, make him the perfect target,
Yeah.
So one day, he's looking at a small flask of incense, benjoin or something like that. Benjoin,
Okay.
yeah. And the seller, the merchant, asked him, would you be the one they call the white rabbi, Yeshua? Is it true that you have a lot of men with you to free us?
Oh.
Hey, but do not worry. I will say nothing. And Yeshua responds, yes and no, my brother. Yes, they call me the rabbi in white. And yes, my name is Yeshua. But no, I do not have men to carry weapons.
Yeah,
You are misled.
because he's thinking of the other one.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Always is confusion,
Right.
which was maintained and created. Yeah. And then the merchant goes, then what are you doing here, Rabbi, with your word? You just have to go to the synagogue to hear them. We are tired. Do you understand? And Yeshua tells him, it is because of your daughter that you are telling me this, right?
No, he's probably like, what?
And the man is stunned, I mean, how does
I
Yeshua
have a
knows
daughter.
that he has
Right.
a daughter? Yeah. And the man goes, my daughter? How do you know that something happened to her?
Oh.
And Yeshua responds, you do not realize it, merchant, but you talk about her with every word that you pronounce. Where is she? Tell me. And the merchant is so stunned that he cannot move, And now a few people are starting to gather, right? And finally the merchant says, okay, come, Rabbi. My daughter is upstairs in my home. And Yeshua follows the merchant in his home and is surprised by the stench and the bad smell that is permeating the place. So we know that merchant is selling incenses, essential oils, perfumes. But despite that,
He's covering up something. Yeah.
There is something very bad.
Can't cover it up.
And again, for Yeshua, the smell of a body was the first thing that helped him define a person.
Okay.
I mean, even though he could see the aura, and he could see with his eyes, the smell was essential into forming an opinion about someone. Yeah. So more than the face of the body, he likes to look at to feel the smell. So the daughter of the merchant is a young adolescent. She's leaning against a wall and she's working on a piece of garment, And Yeshua gets close to her and he says, give me your name, your real name. And the young girl watches Yeshua with a lot of surprise in her eyes,
First of all, who is this?
Who is this guy, coming in my home,
right,
disturbing me? And then she goes, my name, it is Leah. Leah. And Yeshua responds, this one I know. I want to hear your real name, the one that you hide in your heart, the one that you would like to have. And the young girl says, I do not know it, or I forgot it. And at that point, the merchant, is saying, okay, what's going on? Why do you ask her that, Rabbi? I gave her that name. What do you want? My daughter is like that since she was born. Her legs are deformed and she cannot walk.
Gosh, what did people do back then when they couldn't walk? Like they had wheelchairs and it's horrible.
That is why she's fixing some old clothes. She must have a purpose. And Yeshua does not listen to the merchant. His consciousness is actually already in the heart of the young girl.
Yeah.
He sees the premature death of her mother. He sees the fact that she could not give him a son. And he also sees the precarity of his business. Things are not going too well. And he sees that the girl who never wanted to be called Leah had blocked a section of her body to turn against life.
Okay.
Because she didn't want to embrace life. She did not like the name that was given to her. And she had paralyzed and deformed.
Yeah, the body self shut down.
A part of her body, the lower portion of it. And, well, digging into her soul, Yeshua finds her real name. And he takes her hand and he whispers in her ear, I know your real name, the one that you will use from now on. You will be Yahel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with its music in your ears, I guarantee you, you will be like a mountain goat. So it's interesting that he says that because
Mm-hmm.
Leah, the name that was given to that young girl, means the delicate, the fragile in Hebrew,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
But Yahel is actually the wild goat in Hebrew, the
Oh,
goat
okay.
that jumps all
Right.
over the
Yeah. The
places,
side of the mountain.
in the mountains.
Right.
Yeah. And then he's going to grasp her hand between her head, I'm sorry, between his hands, and he blows between her eyes so that the window of light that he saw on her soul remains open
Mm.
forever. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Hmm.
And the girl goes, Yahel, Yahel. And at that point, Yeshua summons her to stand up and walk a few steps. And Yahel, ex Leah, is now able to walk, to stand up and walk with hesitation. Her
Mm-hmm.
fragile legs slowly recovering their strength. And Yeshua looks at her and he realizes that she is born a second time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Yahel gets close to her father and throws herself in his arms. And Yeshua, as usual, doesn't want to be rewarded or, he
He just
doesn't,
wants to.
he's not looking
He just
for
wants to go and.
for gratitude or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
He's trying to escape or
Right.
replace. Yeah. He
Mm-hmm.
needed to live and to be with himself, and express his gratitude for that living
Giving
energy inside himself.
giving
Yeah.
him the opportunity to
Right,
do this for
exactly.
her. Yeah.
And of course, a group outside the house is wondering what happened.
Yeah.
And on the way down, Yeshua told them, "Go upstairs and join them. You will see what happened."
So he gets rid of them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So from that moment, Yeshua is going to walk openly in the city of Jerusalem. There was no more confusion between the action of the zealots and Barabbas
Mm-hmm.
and the divine seal that Yeshua was living on the soul
Right.
of the people.
Complete opposite.
Yeah. So, I mean, after that miracle, that
Mm-hmm.
incredible healing, I think everybody knows who is the real Yeshua
Mm-hmm.
and who is the fake Yeshua.
Right.
Yeah. There is no more,
No question
no
about that.
questions. Yeah. And so, along with his group of disciples, he starts talking and teaching on all the squares in Jerusalem. Every time he can, he will do that. He also heals the endless physical sufferings of many people. But you have to have a true heart.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the healing is not accepted. And the Romans are watching Yeshua gather in small groups, while the Pharisees in the synagogues
Mm-hmm.
are displaying a very mocking smile. They
Mm-hmm.
don't like him.
No.
They will never like him. And I think they still don't like him
I
today.
really don't think they do.
And among the Romans, I mean, Yeshua, of course, is observing everybody. And among the Romans and the Pharisees, there are a few who are sincere, with a free soul. And Yeshua knows how to recognize them. And he see clearly when the soldiers are coming toward him, they are lowering their gaze. They don't dare look at him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder, what did they think of?
Well, they are trying to apologize to be here where their pilum and the swords and all the weaponry,
Right.
uh, because they realize that what he's doing is useful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a little bit of a heart.
Right. And Yeshua is trying always to catch a gaze. He's always looking at everybody because he knows that as soon as he can catch a gaze,
Things will shift.
those eyes will be
Yeah.
marked forever.
Right. Right.
Yeah. There was a reason these souls were there at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, think about it.
Right.
Being in Palestine at that moment, and having the privilege of being able, to listen and
Right.
learn from that incredible master. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so as Yeshua says, the love of Yeshua is contagious. He's very dangerous, but he's also contagious.
Yeah.
So week after week, Yeshua is going to start actually loving that Jerusalem with all our gold, pretenses, the lies, the miseries, but also the hopes. He's starting to actually appreciate that big city. And Miriam, his mother, is watching Yeshua, understanding all the audacity and the dangers that her son is confronting. I mean, she accepts it. She has no other choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually, this is the what they call the season of the Sukkot, and it's toward the end of the hot season, and the harvest are approaching. And every Friday, Yeshua was teaching inside the periphery of the Grand Temple, the main temple in Jerusalem. And among the little people coming to listen, there were all kind of different people. There were scholars, people in position of power, wealthy Sadducees,
Mm-hmm.
and people of the little people,
Right. Regular
Yeah,
commoners.
and that was the goal for Yeshua because he wanted all these different fringes of the population
Mm-hmm.
to gather
Yeah.
and meet all together,
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise,
The diversity, right?
yeah, otherwise they would never meet,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The wealthy Sadducees or the member of the Sanhedrin would never talk
Right.
or listen to something
Right. Be
with
around.
the
Right.
little people, So
Who they considered little people.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. So Yeshua was speaking to them with the common language, peaceful, shaking sometimes, comforting, but always demanding. And his free way of speaking was disturbing, of course, especially for the Pharisees. Yeah, there was no longer limits with what he was saying, and Yeshua was conscious of what he could cause with his words. It didn't matter. The biggest problem for the Jewish male audience was the large numbers of women not only
Oh,
listening,
right. But being
but
part of it.
also speaking and
Oh,
asking
speaking. Oh,
questions.
yeah. God forbid.
Yeah, so we have to again remind our audience that in those times, women were not allowed to discuss spiritual matters or to talk about the scriptures. I'm not even sure they were able to read
Because
them.
that's what God told them. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. It
Yeah.
was only for the men. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeshua, again, was encouraging the women to talk,
Mm-hmm.
and the male audience was responding with insults and menacing gesture, and
Oh,
sometimes spitting. Yeah,
wow.
I mean, they
Okay.
really hated that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if things have evolved a little bit more now, but that's what it was
Okay.
2,000 years ago. Yeah. So sometimes the Kaif, the head of the Sanhedrin, and a few
Mm-hmm.
members of the Sanhedrin in a shady corner were listening to Yeshua, and they were hoping for some heresy or scandals in his speeches, so
Mm-hmm.
they
So
could
I could
point,
get them.
yeah, they
Yeah.
could get him. But it never happened, and they were all, and Yeshua was watching them, from a
He
distance,
knew exactly what they were
with
thinking.
their enormous hats,
Yeah.
and all the gold stuff,
Yes.
and they would stop by, caress their beards,
Yeah.
and they will leave again after a while,
Mm-hmm.
saying that nothing wrong could happen. And Yeshua is going to grasp all occasion to go to Bethany also. So he's constantly going between Jerusalem and Bethany, which are, I think it's about a day of walk
Okay.
away, And this Bethany is where the sister of Eleazar, John, Martha, is
Okay.
living, and she
Oh,
has a
okay.
she has a big farm there. And he find there in Bethany, a quiet and pleasant life that is impossible within the walls of Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
of
Of
course,
course,
yeah.
yeah.
And he sees his brother Thomas and the coming Mariam were getting closer every day. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeshua is observing his brother Thomas and noticing that his physical, because of his physical copy, his twin was also in love with another Miriam. So we call it
Things
Mariam, but
could get
it's a
confusing.
Miriam, yeah.
Yeah.
So one day in Bethany, Levi asked Yeshua, so we're going to go to a little bit of teaching now. So Levi asked Yeshua, Master, you have told us quite often that the human is built like the universe. And in this way, that he is like a tree with as many branches in the visible than roots in
Mm-hmm.
the invisible.
There's a picture of that somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
You also told us that the upper part was designed like the lower part. However, I don't understand what that means or the use of it. Are we growing when we understand such mystery?
Mhm.
So these are the questions from
Right.
Levi. And Yeshua is going to respond. Do you think this is such a mystery, Levi? It is just the observation of nature. What is mysterious is that nobody noticed the obvious, right?
Mhm. Right.
Listen all. The high and the low are brother and sister. Just think of the way that one and the other are similar in our body. Didn't you notice that both have a creative function? At the level of the head, you find the creative mind, the opening toward the spirit, and the expression of the verb, right?
Right.
So we're creating a lot.
Right.
At the lower level, the capability to procreate is expressed as well as the opening toward the spirit with the furnace destined to respond to the verb.
Oh.
So when he talks about the furnace, it
Hmm.
means the Kundalini,
Ah,
which
okay.
is sitting in the lower
Right.
chakra, right? In the
Hmm.
Muladhara chakra. So, I mean, at that point, I guess he didn't use the Indian names, although he knew them because
Right.
he spent enough time in India.
You don't want to confuse
No,
things.
but he's talking about the furnace,
Hmm.
which is like sitting and
Right.
brewing in the lower chakra. And similarly, the high and the low have a function of elimination, right? So we
Mhm.
saw the function of creation, but there is also a function of elimination. Did you notice how our head is prone to secrete mental refuses? I am talking here of the toxic nature of the thoughts that
Oh,
are
okay. That's what we
translated,
meant.
yeah,
Okay.
that are
Yeah.
translated in
Okay.
verbal insults or spitting.
Right.
So apparently, in that time,
A lot of spitting's
there
going
was a
on.
lot of spitting
There's
going
still a lot
on.
of spitting as
Yeah.
far as I've heard and seen in
Okay.
places. I won't mention those places, but
And Yeshua continues, I'm also talking about the rejection of the food that the body cannot accept through
hmm.
the act of vomiting, right?
Right. Right.
So, as for the belly, it is the place where excrements and other fluids that the flesh has to produce or eliminate, right? But now, between the spirit of high and the body of low, which are reflecting in each other, there is another place.
Mm.
And that place is the soul or the trunk of the tree,
Oh,
linking
okay.
the
Right.
branches and the roots, right?
Right.
It is the kingdom of your heart,
Yeah.
of
It all
your
connects
free
right here.
will.
Yeah.
This is where the free will stays,
Hmm.
where anything can happen. It is at that location that I am coming to meet you. If you want to find the peace of the eternal, you must dedicate every day in this world to its presence. Just think of this liquid that runs out of the women's belly when they give birth. It is similar to the breath of the living, to the breath of the divine, where you are bathing from your first heartbeat until the last.
Hmm.
I'm telling you, and will never stop repeating it, at every moment in this world, you are immersed in its presence. You are feeding from it, you are breathing it, and you are ignoring its true nature, when in fact it is the divine grace,
Mm.
your supreme inheritance.
Yeah. I like that.
Thus, my friends, it is the memory of that truth that I came to remind you. Nothing else, because nothing is necessary.
Right. I mean, it's so simple, right?
It
It's
is.
literally so simple. People can't
Mm.
believe it. Okay.
And he said also, there is only one law to reveal. It's the law of the absolute heart to love, right?
Hmm.
And such a law cannot be dismissed, whatever ruses or dialectic are being used
Hmm.
by the scripture.
Right.
You know it. My words are not going to be repeated in the synagogues or in the temples, because forever they have asked you to believe instead of understanding.
Right. Right.
Right.
Hmm.
You have to believe,
Right.
not understand,
Just,
believe.
just what we're telling you.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
they are
Yep.
turning you into sheep
Hmm.
coming from the ages of Aries.
Mm.
Yes, sheep, but never free fish in the water. So I guess here he's making an allusion or a hint to this cycle of Aries, right? That
Right.
finishes with
Good.
is
Finishes and in Pisces
yeah,
begins.
and
Yeah.
then the Pisces age,
Right.
coming. But I guess
Mm-hmm.
this is why I came to free you from this passivity, from this cesspool of ignorance that you are accepting.
Yeah. He's trying to break them out of that
Yes,
trance-like state
yes,
that they're
exactly.
in, right?
Yes,
Like
yes.
today.
The trance
Mm-hmm.
induced by the Torah and all the
Right.
scriptures and
Right.
the religious
Mm-hmm.
practices, put in place at that time. Yeah? And thus, without waiting, learn of what your life is made of, and very soon you will recognize a life in you.
Mm-hmm.
So Yeshua stops here, and only the chirping of the insects is being heard. So, of course, nobody ever talked to these women and these men in this way.
Right.
Nobody was stimulating their mind.
Right.
They didn't want to stimulate their mind.
They're
You
probably
just
like
have
in shock as he's
you
telling
just
them
had to
this.
believe,
Right. That's
and
it.
be obedient.
Right.
And the assistant is looking at Yeshua as if he was coming from another planet, which is
Because he was.
partially
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
And he was trying to relink the high and the low by being that trunk.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And Yeshua turns to Levi. You ask me, what is the purpose of knowing all this? Well, actually, nothing if your head is like an attic where you store data.
Right.
Knowing for the sake of knowing is futile.
Right.
But if, little by little, it helps you understand that the architecture of your being is one with the universe,
Hmm.
then you will reveal it and everything will change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we always have to think about that,
Right.
As above, so below, right? That's how
Exactly.
it goes. Yeah. So after these teachings, a lot of the people come close to Yeshua to receive his blessing,
Right.
And even a female donkey started to bray in the stable of Martha. It was a way for nature to acknowledge something,
Exactly.
that's something big,
That's something
something
people need to remember
right.
when they're having those kind of moments.
The reactions of nature, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Chirping
yeah.
of the birds,
Yeah.
the insects, whatever.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
right?
And after all this, Miriam, the mother, invites all the attendants to share a meal with the little food they have.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeshua enjoys immensely these hours spent,
Mm-hmm.
below the fig trees and the date trees,
Right.
and he called them hours of love.
Oh, I like that.
And at that point, even Thomas, his brother, is
Mm-hmm.
trying to steal a kiss with Miriam
Uh-oh.
with the tip of his lips, saying,
Tip of his lip. Just a tiny little
So,
kiss.
in the meantime, while they're trying to kiss,
Mm-hmm.
cheeses, olives, dried fish, and fruits are being exchanged
Mm-hmm.
and enjoyed, around the
Mm-hmm.
group. They even find a jar of wine, which was supposed to be empty, but somehow it has some wine in it.
There was a refill there.
It was refilled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And finally, Yeshua breaks the bread, and all Bethany is very happy. All the people gathered in Martha's
Right.
on how to say Martha's vineyards
Yeah.
almost.
It's kind of funny,
Yeah,
yeah.
Martha's property, are
Mm-hmm.
happy. So this is the celebration of the Sukkot, and it's around the corner. And it was customary to express gratitude for the people of Israel at that time and the help they had received. And the Sukkot was essentially feasts, prayers, and singing.
Oh,
And I
okay.
don't know if it's still going on today.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, but that's the way it was in those
Back
days.
in the day.
Back in the days, yeah. And at one point, a group of villagers coming from Bethany are coming to accompany Yeshua to Jerusalem. And so the group is now getting much bigger, and there are about 50 people.
Oh.
And Yeshua appreciated the happiness of that walk, in contrast with all the problems due to the zealots, right?
Right.
And after crossing the hill of the olive trees, I think it's called Mount Olives, next to the fortress of Jerusalem, the group entered Jerusalem through the gate of the waters this time, on the south of the temple. So they used another gate. And the songs of the groups has the effect to rally even more people from inside the city. I mean,
they
it's like
hear
this
everything.
big group,
Right.
big
They
band
want to
of
join in.
people singing
Yep.
And the people are saying, it is a rabbi in white, it is Yeshua from Galilee who is coming with his friends,
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it's sad to say, but very few people were aware of the consequences of that large movement,
Oh,
you know.
it brought too much attention.
Yes,
Yeah.
the enthusiasm of the large group was perceived like a challenge for the powers
Mm-hmm.
that be. Yeah.
Feels like that's happening still today. I
Yes, I
don't
know.
know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Yeshua is surprised to see so many people, incensing while knowing him so little. But I guess
Right.
they're all ecstatic and
Right.
enthusiastic.
Well, you think about the energy, everybody's,
Right.
beautiful,
Yes.
positive love energy that's
Yeah.
going on. Mm-hmm.
And Yeshua realized that the wave of light that he had been creating around the lake had followed him all the way inside to Judea,
Mm-hmm.
and it was starting to flood the city of
Mm-hmm.
Jerusalem, regardless of the consciousness of its inhabitants. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are probably not aware. I mean, very few people from Jerusalem have followed these teachings,
Right.
but somehow it is contagious.
Right.
And this work created what is known today as the Day of the Olive Branch.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess, in the Catholic
Mm-hmm.
tradition, they call it the Day of the Olive Branch. As Yeshua is walking next to Martha's donkey and
Mm-hmm.
not on the donkey as described in the
Oh,
Bible,
okay.
No, he's walking next
Next
to
to.
next to the donkey.
Mm-hmm.
And so the group is invading the streets of Jerusalem, And of course, that event is triggering jealousies.
Oh, yes.
It's augmenting the
Mm-hmm.
mistrust and the upset,
Yeah.
and it's increasing the desire of those who wanted for things to change,
Mm-hmm.
And so,
A lot of fear
a lot of fear, yeah.
circling.
hmm And these were on both sides, It was the reunion of the people, but
Mm-hmm.
also the dispersion driven by the Pharisees and the Sadducees, mostly.
Right.
And this was just a few months before Easter.
Oh, we know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think I'll close this out.
You could.
Thank you so much again. And please like and subscribe. We appreciate you all tuning in with this story.